Welcome to Guiding You Home with Terry Barr. We'll bring you exclusive interviews with the nation's top real estate experts, successful investors, and industry insiders. Whether you're buying, selling, or just love real estate, our guests share their insights, tips, and stories to help you navigate the market. Stay tuned for valuable advice and inspiring journeys that will help you find and sell your perfect home. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Guiding You Home. I have a tremendous guest. I have not met this young lady yet, but she was at our national convention at Gen Blue. I ran into a bunch of people there. Didn't have the option to see her there, but we'll get into a little bit of why she was there and what award she won. But we have a young lady. Her name is Kanani Ching. She's from Oʻahu, Hawaii. She is the broker in charge of Coldwell Banker Island Properties, and she is a fascinating woman. She's got a certificate in AI and machine learning from MIT. She's done college on the East Coast, and now she's out there where her family lives, and she's doing big things. So I want you to welcome Kanani Ching into our show today. Kanani, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it, and we're glad to have you.
No, thank you so much for this opportunity. It is an absolute pleasure to meet you, especially on your podcast today. So thank you so much for the invite. I am excited to be here.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, Kanani's her episode's coming out here in December, so we were excited that when she showed up, she had her candy care earrings on. She's showing them off. So Merry Christmas. She's ready for the holidays, so that's pretty cool as well. But Kanani, I wanted to break it down a little bit from the beginning. I want to hear a little about you, Kanani the woman, and what you're all about, what you're passionate about, how you grew up, and what got you into real estate. So start there. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and we'll get going.
So, fun story. I was actually born in Chicago. So we started in Chicago. That's where my heart honestly is. I grew up in the 80s, so I'm a huge sports fan. So okay. Bulls, Bears, Cubs.
Are you Cubs, White Sox?
I'm a Cubs fan. Okay. However, my grandma is a White Sox fan. Okay. And so I always root for the White Sox as well because she's my favorite grandma. I don't know if we should say that, but she is. And then my family eventually moved to Phoenix. Okay. And my dad's actually from Hawaii. So his whole family is in Hawaii. And so when I, in 2002, turned 20 and I was like, I'm out of here. So I actually came myself over to Hawaii to spend time here, learned a little bit more about my family, my culture, and I mean, we were coming here every year since I was born. That was my first flight. I was 2 months old from Hawaii or from Chicago to Hawaii. But I've loved it, and I've been out here ever since 2002, and it's been fantastic. I love it.
Well, that is fantastic. I've been there a couple times. Love to go there again someday. Hawaii is one of those places. If you live there, it's like home, but everybody wants to get there. It's one of those places where you can go to 3 or 4 or 5 islands and get a whole different look there. So I love Hawaii. I grew up in Indiana for part of my childhood, so I was a White Sox fan, and so I know a little bit about that. Now both my boys live in Phoenix near Scottsdale, so they're all headed that way. They'll probably end up in Hawaii. So tell us when you got into real estate. You went to Hawaii from Chicago. Was that something? Did your family have any real estate in the background, or is that just something you kind of fell into?
It's kind of something that I fell into. I don't have any family that has previously been in real estate, but living in Hawaii, we are definitely a family-centric community and culture. And I saw like I mentioned, I moved out to Hawaii when I was 20. And so I was on my own. In the mainland, it's very normal to move out of the house. But in Hawaii, it is very hard to do. So for my family, at that time when my grandma was still alive, there was 5 generations in one house.
Wow.
And next door was her other son. So there's only 4 in that house because she was living in the other house.
Sure.
And I just saw that pattern, and not just my family, in a lot of the families. And so I really wanted to have the opportunity to help other local people and people in Hawaii to be able to build that wealth through homeownership. And so that was my main driver at getting into real estate, is I wanted to be able to provide that for my family, but then also for the other families as well.
Sure. Well, and that's one of the things we're running into right now is affordability. That's in the news all the time. It's hard for young people to buy houses, to get into their own place. We hear a lot about, kids in their parents' basements. I don't have that, thankfully. But affordability is a big conversation. And then you take that to what some would consider, the islands, if you will, somewhere that people go to vacation. That must be even a bigger problem there. How do you approach that with, say, the locals and the generations that you see that are trying to make their way into home ownership?
A lot of it is just preparing. And that's what I did for myself in order to purchase a home out here. And just like anyone else, you have to be able to know that it's a possibility. And that's the biggest thing, is our responsibility as the aunties and the uncles or the parents is to really lead by example. And so if they see you do it, then they'll say, hey, I can do it too. And that is sometimes more powerful, but it's really just preparing and saying, hey, let's get you set up with someone like a lender, a partner that can help you either rebuild credit, to build credit, or even just have a good idea of how to manage money.
Have a plan.
And save up. Yeah. And that's we all have to do it, but sometimes it's a little bit harder in certain areas than others. But I do think it's possible.
So you've been out there 22, 3, 4 years, give or take. In the time that you've been out there, have you seen, at least close to you, people in your family kind of look at you and go, okay, this is what she's doing. I want to emulate that. I want to buy my own house. And have you seen family members produce a plan and then get into their own homes? Have you been successful with your cousins and your nieces and nephews?
Yeah, I really hope that someone does look up to us. That is the goal, is to carry yourself in a way that at least one person says, hey, I want to be like that person. Yeah. But it's, being in real estate, I have the opportunity to expand that reach to others. And in Oʻahu, we have a lot of military. We have every military base. And so even helping our veterans, my dad was in the Navy. And so even helping our military is important. And like one of my favorite ones actually was one of my favorite clients. Shouldn't say that, but we all have one. Best success stories that I just love is I had met someone before they could use their VA benefits because they just hadn't been in long enough. Right. And so we came up with a plan for him to save up. And when he was ready, when he was eligible, he would buy a place. Okay. And he was at that time, I believe he was in his mid-20s. Okay. And he ended up purchasing multiple homes with his VA loan, refinancing and getting it into a conventional, then using his VA loan again. Yeah. And he's been able to really build wealth, and before he was 30. Yeah, that's amazing. And there's a lot of opportunities. It's just being strategic and smart about it, and having someone there to help, And that's the beauty, is that us as realtors, we're able to be that person for someone else. Yeah, I think that's the majority of our job, is to educate and bring people along into the whatever our vendors are, whatever the people that we vet, to bring them in line with those folks and to try to bring a team together to help folks. How long have you been a broker? So I've been a broker it's been about 4 years now, 5 years. 4 years. So there's been a switch. Obviously, you're an agent for, 16 years or 18 years by yourself, and you're out there hustling. And now that you've become a broker and in charge of Coldwell Banker Island Properties,
Tell me what the mental switch for you has been, and how to not only support your clients, your real estate clients, but now to support your realtors as well.
It is a completely different experience, and I've been enjoying the challenge. I think the biggest challenge was I really enjoy helping my clients. I have the best clients ever, and I just love them. But now I can, I refer them to our agents, obviously, of course, and I know that they'll take excellent care of them. But now my clients are actually realtors.
Yeah.
So how can all of that education and that help that I provided to my clients, how can I take that and help realtors? And the best thing about it, and one of the reasons why I did make that shift, is I wanted to help as many families as possible. And I, as myself, can only help a certain number. At some point, we get to the point where it's like, how can I help more? And if I can help, more agents, help more families, the reach is just immense. Yeah. And I might not be that first person, but I am in the line, in that link somewhere, helping that family. And that's the reason why I made that shift. So my clients now are realtors. And as you know, realtors are like the most giving, caring people, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. We're all needy to a degree. I mean, this business is so, maybe it's not complex, but there's lots of moving parts, and there's always a time where you have to sit back and you go, okay, let me grab my mind about me here and figure out which direction I go. Even if you've been in the business a long time, I've been in the business for 16, 17 years, and I sit down sometimes and I go, okay, what do I need to do here? Because there's so many moving parts. How did you go from, I know education is probably part of it, but how did you go from a leadership role and expanding that leadership role to the support role? I want to kind of dive in a little bit. You won Innovator of the Year, AI Innovator of the Year with Coldwell Banker. Really great award to win. We can't wait to hear what that's all about. But what made you go from supporting your agents to saying, hey, I need to jump on board with AI? And one, you got this great certificate from MIT. And second of all, and you've created some things and some tools for your agents. Tell me about that little transition and how that all came about, and how you ended up in Las Vegas winning that award.
Yeah, so I think it was about November of 2022. I stumbled upon ChatGPT, and one of our responsibilities as brokers is to, continue to learn about the industry, obviously, but continue to learn new tools so that we can best help our agents. And when I stumbled upon ChatGPT at that point, it was like, oh my gosh, we can rewrite our listing descriptions. This is absolutely amazing.
At the simplest level, right? It was amazing, right?
I was like, this is awesome. And then I started to say, how else can we utilize this? And so it really came from a place of, how can I help my agents save time? And how can I become that resource for them? Because as realtors, when I was selling, you just sometimes don't have enough time. And our responsibility is to be in front of our clients, helping our clients, providing that personal touch. Yep. And if we're doing paperwork or writing listing descriptions, you're not doing what you're best capable of doing.
That's very true. And until now, writing the descriptions was arduous for a lot, and some people had other people do it. And and now it seems like it makes me look dumb because I wish I could have written that, But but tell us about the innovation that you came up with. Tell us about that transition in 22 to. I'm assuming you searched out MIT for a program, or how did that come about? There's got to be other places to do this. So how did you end up at MIT with one of the best schools in the world?
Yeah, and that's the reason why. I went down this rabbit hole of how can I take this tool and make it for the best use for the agents. And going down that rabbit hole, I found all of these other ttools, and I started teaching classes. I started teaching not just our agents, but I started teaching other agents. And then I said, you know what, I want to learn more. Like, how can I supercharge myself so that I can help supercharge the agents?
Right.
And so I started looking, and when it came down to it, I mean, MIT is like one
That's
of the
it.
best, if not the best, for
Yeah.
technology. And so I said, I'm going to do it so that I can better myself, so that I can help others.
Yeah. Well, one of the questions I asked is, what advice do you give fellow real estate professionals who want to stand out in today's market? And you almost know the answer's coming in this day and age, fully embrace AI. And from an old guy and a bunch of, call them seasoned veterans, that can be a little bit overwhelming to think, how do I fully embrace AI? Now, I've been using AI for a lot of things in the last 6 or 8 weeks, but I only feel like I'm scratching the surface. And so how do we as agents, regardless of our age, how do we as agents fully embrace AI, and what's the process to get there? How do do I spend 5 minutes a day, or do I have one of these apps is like 15 minutes a day for 3 weeks and you're a superstar? Well, in your estimation, how do we get there as agents? How do we fully embrace AI?
AI is changing so fast that there's nobody, not even the godfather of AI, that can keep up with AI. And
Right.
so fully embracing it in your business is probably never going to happen, right? Because we just don't move fast enough, where we
Yeah.
just don't move as fast as AI. And so what I've been telling people is just start where you're at. So if you've never used AI before, then start the same place I did. Rewrite your listing descriptions. You can save those little bit of time with listing descriptions. Hopefully it will encourage you enough to look at other areas of your business that you can utilize it. I think for us, ChatGPT is, in my opinion, or one of the LLMs, so like ChatGPT, Gemini,
Right.
Claude, if you utilize those, that will save you itself in so much time.
Yeah.
And it's really just saying, okay, what is the best for my business? How can I best utilize it? And to save even just 2 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day,
Right. Well, I think that's perfect, because it can be overwhelming. It can be one of those things. Well, I don't even know where to start. I can open up ChatGPT. I don't know what to do with it. What do I ask it? Do I use it like Google? Those kinds of things. And I don't think you do. But I get stuck where, like, okay, I want this to happen, and it sends me out this code. I don't even know where to put the code. Now, that's where I'm at. Like, okay, I got the code. Now, what do I do with it? And I think for me, I need some sort of progression that says, okay, I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to learn the prompts. I'm going to learn a list of prompts. I'm going to learn how to prompt. And then where do I go from there? Tell me about your innovation and what you put together for your agents, and then obviously for the country.
Yeah. So as far as prompting, just real quick, you actually don't need to prompt it anymore.
Okay.
So I'll tell you my 2 favorite prompts to use.
Listen up, folks. Here they come.
2 favorites. So if you've never used AI before, just tell ChatGPT that you're a realtor in whatever city you're in, and how can I best utilize you for my business?
Yeah.
And it'll give you different ideas. And if you don't understand it, tell it, I don't understand it. And it's almost like now it's more of like an assistant. So you just ask it questions. My all-time favorite prompt, though, is at the end of most of my statements, if
Right.
I'm looking for specific details, at the very end, I will always put, ask me as many questions as necessary, one at a time, until you fully understand my goals.
Yeah.
Because what it is if I say something, I might think it's clear and you might think it's clear as mud, right?
Yeah.
And AI is no different. So
Yeah.
open that dialogue, and it'll ask you whatever questions it needs to, and then provide you the information that you need.
I love it.
It makes it so much easier now, because it's more of a conversation that you're having with a friend.
I even named mine. I named mine Grace. My mom's middle name is Grace, so I named my AI assistant Grace. And so every morning I say, "Good morning, Grace. What would you like to do today? You want to work on real estate or your podcast, or what would you like to do today, Terry?" But one of the things I always ask Grace is, I always say, "Hey, what am I not thinking about? is there something I'm missing? And more often than not, she comes back and says, well, maybe you should think about these 16 things that I didn't think about. So that's one of the prompts that I enjoy. If I get down to the level of I'm almost done, I always ask her, is there anything else I should be thinking about? And that's been helpful.
Awesome.
So tell me about your innovation specifically.
Yeah, so I found a lot of agents are intimidating by prompting and things like that. And so what I've been starting to do is I've been starting to create custom GPTs for my agents. So what it is I provided the prompt and the information, and then I make it simple for them to just utilize it, and it'll provide you the information it needs.
Explain that a little bit more to me. You're making customized chat GPTs. What does that mean?
Yeah, so in ChatGPT, there's custom GPTs that you can make.
Right.
So, for example, with this one, it's so important to be searchable by AI,
Yeah.
and which means you have to be online, and it means that you need to be online everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's just not enough time to do it. And so I wanted to solve that problem. And plus, it's like thinking of what to say, how to say it.
Right.
It's intimidating.
Yep.
And so I went into ChatGPT and I created a custom GPT. So what I did, how to create that, is you just tell it, this is my goals. Like I want you to provide me a hyper local knowledge pack. I want it to include these items. So for the items I included, I think I put like benefits to buyers, benefits to sellers, information about the local area. And then I wanted it to provide a social media outline. So it automatically will provide a YouTube script with a summary, a blog post, a email to send to your sphere. It'll provide a LinkedIn article. It'll provide and 3 reels, I believe, for social media. And so it'll provide all of that by just saying, for example, just putting in Honolulu, Hawaii luxury sellers. It'll provide all of that information just off of that.
Interesting.
And
now,
so, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Good.
Yeah, and so then the next step is like, okay, I have all this information. What am I going to do with it?
Right, right.
You can use it. Obviously, you can easily use it for any like presentations, buying listing presentations, FAQ pages on your website.
Yeah.
But social is very important. And so
when it provides you, sorry to cut you off, but when it provides, you said it'll provide me 3 reels. What does that mean to the average person? Does that mean it provides you the language or the script or what have you, and then you go back and create the actual video?
Perfect. Yeah. So it is actually just the script and then the caption that you can use. Yeah. So it's a simple copy and paste.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make sure that it sounds like you, and you want to make sure that you reread everything. Yeah. But it's a really great starting point for anyone.
Are you using? I use the captions app for that. In other words, I went down this rabbit hole for a while here in the last few weeks, and I'm putting these packets together for different towns, and then I'm asking for the top 5 things or the top 3 things or whatever, and then I'm attaching that to the reels, and I'm feeding that into captions, and then I'm going online and doing reels that way, and so it's much easier because you're reading the teleprompter, and that's pretty interesting. Is that what you feed those into? Is a captions ad or something similar?
Yeah, perfect. So that's actually, it was a 6-step process that I presented at Gen Blue.
Ah, very good. Cool. Well, she's gone. I don't know what happened, but go ahead. So let me ask the question again. So are you feeding the scripts into captions? And what you were saying, we lost touch there for a second, that you have a 6-step process. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So with the process, I use the captions app as well.
Okay.
So you can take the script and you can just copy and paste it into captions.
Yeah.
And it's a teleprompter. So you're looking directly at the screen. You're reading it, so you don't have to memorize anything.
Right.
It's so easy. You can edit in captions as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to just provide people with as many tools as possible, and then they choose which ones they want. Yeah. So I had mentioned doing the YouTube script in captions off of the teleprompter, and then taking that and editing it in Descript. So Descript will use AI to take out any filler words, any word gaps. It can correct your eyes, which shouldn't be a problem because you're reading the teleprompter already. It'll clean up your voice. And then you can also edit it like a Word doc. So it shows up like a Word doc, and then you literally edit it and it'll automatically update the video.
I tell you, it's amazing. I've been on video for, I don't know, 12 or 14 years. I started doing on-camera stuff before anybody was doing it in our area. And so it takes me, I have a long learning curve. But when this came out, I learned some of that at Gen Blue and how to use captions and how to work around it. But, now I'm uploading documents into ChatGPT, and I'm learning how to ask the questions about the documents and those kinds of things. So I'm thrilled to death with it, but I don't know how to keep up with it. So I think it's important. Maybe you can give us a little guidance on that. How do we keep up with it, or how do we utilize it one bit at a time? Or just, you said start where you're at, but what's the plan for the future? Where do you see AI taking us as real estate agents, and how do we stay up with it?
Yeah, so how do you stay up with it? It's really, you can follow my Instagram. So I do post a lot of information on AI if you want. So it's Kanani.Ching on Instagram.
Kanani.Ching. It sounds just like it is. Kanai, right? Ni.Ching, Ching. Okay. Yep. I'll put that in the notes, but go ahead.
Perfect. And but it's really just saying what are things that I do repetitively, or what are things that I don't like to do? Like editing is something that I personally don't like to do.
Me neither.
It takes a lot of time. And so if I can have an AI do it for me and it can do it faster, then I'm not only happier because I'm not frustrated trying to figure it out, and I'm also saving time.
Yeah. Is that what Descript does for you? That'll edit it? AI?
Yeah. Okay. Descript edits it well. And then from there, the coolest one that I think, so if you do a long form video, which you have a lot of, and that's awesome that you're doing so much video.
Yeah, I do.
You can take that link from your YouTube and you can put it in Opus Clip.
Yeah, that's how I do. That's how I chop mine up.
Yeah, and Opus Clip is awesome because you have one video and you can make multiple short videos that you can post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts.
All at once. I can dump it right into all my platforms. It's fantastic. It's probably one of the best decisions I've made in the past year, because I started last year as a result of my podcast. And you bump it in there, and 10 minutes later, you've got all these, and it rates them, how likely they are to get views, and you can edit them, and it's fantastic. So that's a good get. The Opus Clip is great.
Yeah, Opus Clip is great. So, and then I went into AI avatars, and we can talk about that as well.
Do you like those? Tell me about that. I mean, I have a problem with that. I mean, I look better as an avatar than I do in real life, but I always feel like, an avatar is kind of goofy. I feel like a cartoon. So I don't know. That's my opinion. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, so it really comes down to your comfort level.
Yeah.
I know people that have grown their social and everything that they post is their avatar.
Really?
And that's their comfort level, and they're fine with that. And then I know people that say absolutely not.
Yeah. Now, when you're talking about an avatar, are you talking about the quote unquote cartoon looking thing, or are you talking about the AI twin?
The twin, yeah, the one that looks and sounds like you.
Amazing, incredible. I don't get it, but incredible.
I know. Well, the thing that if you're not comfortable posting like all of your content, what it does do though is, like, if you don't feel comfortable in front of the camera, or you just don't feel well one day and you need to get content out, it is a way to supplement.
I guess that makes sense. I don't ever want to get stuck in old school, because I think that's where people just they fall to their grave when they get stuck in old school. But I just can't imagine putting something up there that's not me. And I did that on, I don't know what app it was. And I showed my mom, I said, here, check this out. And she's like, oh, you look a little different. I said, well, that's not me. And she's like, what? So, yeah, anyway, I digress, but twinning is, I guess, a way to do it.
This is an FYI. I personally, my stuff, people ask me all the time, is that your avatar? And I'm like, no, that's really me.
Oh, that's funny.
So everything that I post is me, but it is a good way to, everything I post is me.
Okay.
But it is a good way, for example, if you're going to do we all congratulate our clients when they get into escrow.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great to just have your AI avatar just say, hey, Terry, congratulations on getting into escrow. Yeah. Our next steps are this, this, this. And it's a short 15, 20-second video. How
are you doing that? Are you like, is that an AI generated automatic that gets sent out to an email, or how does that work for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can set up, if you have your AI twin, essentially all it is you type what you want it to say, and it'll create it automatically.
Yeah.
And you can take that video and you can email it to your client. You can text it to your client.
Okay.
But it's a good way to just kind of keep, this is the thing, and you know this because you've been doing video for so long.
Yeah.
But our brains are firing like crazy right now, and our connection is crazy right now. The only thing closer than video is being in person.
It's true.
And if you can make that connection multiple different ways without having to record a video with your clients, that's so great. And so if it's just even a quick update on, we've got final loan approval, congratulations, or, I'm glad the home inspection was well, our next step is this. Even if it's just those tiny little things, how can we deepen that connection with our clients?
Yeah. I'm in the process of doing videos for landing pages on my website. The thing that I hate, I send somebody to my website and they kind of stare at the front page, and it's beautiful. It's a great website, but I want them to hear from me. And I've really resisted over the last 5 or 6 years because I didn't know how to put it on there. I didn't know how to do the videos well. I wasn't really sure. But now that I've got all the technology I need, I'm doing these videos, and hey, you just landed on my sellers page. Let's talk about selling what's important, and do a 30-second, 60-second video. I want them to hear from me. I want them to see that I'm a real person. So I agree with you. Video is the way to go. I don't know what's next. I mean, I don't know how you can get any better than video, but we'll see, I suppose. Any thoughts on the future as far as AI is concerned, or technology in itself? Or do you keep up with technology now that you've gotten through the certification? Or what's your thoughts on maybe the next 6 months to a year as far as AI is concerned?
As far as AI is concerned, for the next 6 months to a year, it's so hard, right? Because who knows what's going on.
Right.
I do try to keep up as much as possible. There are and not just in real estate, in all industries, because AI is worldwide, and it doesn't discriminate on any industry.
It's true.
So I try my best to keep up to date as much as possible on what's going on and what's new. For us, at least, in the next 6 to 12 months, I really believe the people that aren't utilizing AI are going to have a harder time.
Yeah.
If I'm able to save an hour every day with my business, and I'm able to spend that prospecting or getting in front of my clients, I'm just going to be able to move faster.
Yeah.
And, AI now can, and this is controversial, and I understand this, and every state has different rules and regulations. So obviously you need to look into that.
That was my next question, the ethics of it all, but go ahead.
Yeah. Ethics is I just gave a presentation to the Project Managers Institute of Hawaii on the ethical concerns of it.
Yeah.
But there are so many people right now that are using an AI to make phone calls for them, to set up appointments. And if you have someone that's able to, or if you have a robot that's able to do that for you, you're going to just move faster. And so I really do. That's one of my goals, is to teach as much about AI as possible. so that everyone can have the opportunity to take care of their business and their clients the best that they can for as long as possible. The world needs more realtors, good realtors that want to
good
do
ones,
well.
good realtors,
Good realtors that want to do well for their clients. And if I can help you spend more time in front of your clients, then that's my job,
So tell me, where do you go? Where can I go? If you're talking to me or you're talking to other agents right now and they're listening to you talk about this, and I'm sure they will, because this is the subject that's out there right now. But where do you go to stay informed? There are lots of newsletters. There's lots of blogs. Is there one place that you think is a great place to go and kind of keep up on what the latest and greatest is as far as AI is concerned?
I don't have one particular place that I go for real estate, but I do religiously listen to Peter Diamandis's Abundance podcast.
Okay.
It has a lot of really good information. It comes out once a week. Sometimes they have it twice a week, which is wild.
Okay.
But it really covers all areas of AI, though. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in all areas of AI, what's coming up, what's moving and shaking, I recommend that podcast. Okay. I personally like that one the best. But if it's just you and you're saying, what can I do for my business?
Right.
The best thing to do is to go to ChatGPT and say, I currently am using ChatGPT for this. You use Opus Clip to cut up your videos. I use all of these platforms. What else can I use in my business?
Yeah.
And it'll make suggestions. It'll say, maybe you should think about this, or, you could be saving time over here. Yeah. And it's really, I use ChatGPT as my thought and my business partner. So like you had mentioned, you say, where's my blind spots?
Right.
That is amazing. That's like the best,
Yeah.
People will ask me all the time, what's the best CRM? And I'm like, everyone uses the CRM differently. So you just got to use one. And so
true.
If you're not using a CRM, you definitely need to get on it, because that's how you can automate your reach outs.
Okay.
But if you want to know the best CRM for you, is to go to ChatGPT and tell it that you want to find a CRM that works for your business. Tell it the things you want it to do, and then tell it to compare and contrast all of the possible options.
So true. I had an agent come into my office today and ask me if an HVAC quote she got was a reasonable quote in our area. And I said, well, from my experience, that looks like a reasonable quote, but let's go ahead and do let's be the guinea pig here. And we put it into ChatGPT. We gave it all the prompts, give us local, good, better, best. And sure enough, it came back, put it all in place. The quote she got was a good quote. She goes, that's the answer. And it saved her an hour of phone calls or looking up, what the latest and greatest quote is. So it has so many uses, and I'm excited about it. That's honestly the reason I was excited about having you on. I wanted to hear more about it and see what you were doing with it. It's exciting that you're doing that. So thanks for sharing that. That's an ongoing conversation. I'm sure we'll have.
This episode is brought to you by Terry Barr Real Estate. We specialize in distinctive real estate and proudly serve Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia, and Maryland. Our mission? Guiding families home. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, our expert team is here to provide personalized service and unmatched expertise. Discover your dream home with Terry Barr Real Estate, where your journey home is a story worth telling.
Them as a seasoned broker and businesswoman.
Love each other and support each other. I think we are so strong and we are so amazing. And if we do things together, that is the most powerful thing that you can do. And I personally, anyone getting into real estate, I would try my best to find a mentor.
Yeah.
I was blessed with finding an amazing mentor when I first started. She taught me so much, and I credit everything that I have today in real estate to her.
How about that?
If she didn't provide that foundation for me, it would have taken me so much longer to figure it all out on my own. So that's why it's so important to work together. But if you are in the industry and you've been in the industry for a long time, mentor someone else.
Yeah.
Pull them up. Yeah. And support each other. I just went to dinner with 20 women in real estate. It was the loudest dinner I've ever been to. But it was so beautiful and fun because you have all of these women that are very successful at different ranges of their business. I was a broker. There's people that were owners of their own company, franchise owners. There's people that were new in the industry. There's people that were buyer's agents, top agents in the area. It was everyone. And it was just so wonderful to see because it's like, how can we best support each other? How can we share and win together? If I were, it'd be love each other, love everyone, support each other. There is way more than enough for everything to go around. And share.
That's good advice. I had Lindsay Lastansky on hers went live last week. She's VP of marketing for Coldwell Banker. You can go watch that episode, but we talked a little bit about that. She uses the term rise and lift. As you're rising, lift others up, and specifically women, obviously. And I made the comment on that podcast that women have historically had to do more to be recognized the same as men. And that's been something that's been a battle for many, many years. And it's obviously making huge, huge strides these days, that women are equal in how they're treated and how they're paid and how they're respected. And it's unfortunate it's taken so long, but I think it's fantastic. And I think women in our business have an advantage. And your advice to say, hey, love everyone, try to be helpful, mentor other women or other people. I'm a mentor as well. But I think it's so important for them to have someone they can look at and go, that's the way you do it. Because there's a lot of people in our business that maybe don't do it as well as others. Find somebody that really parallels you, and I think is what you're saying, and get in there and learn the business from somebody that's been there.
Yeah, celebrate each other. We at that dinner went around and celebrated. One girl just closed her first $8 million listing. Wow. And that was the highest sale in one of the most prominent streets in Oʻahu. And wow. People brought her gifts.
That's another exciting.
Girl closed $27 million this year.
Wow.
We brought her gifts, and it's like we really just lifting each other up, celebrating each other. That's so important. We all need it,
Is that a culture that you really try to implement in your office? I mean, do you lead by example that way? It seems like you're uplifting, you're humble, but you're in there in the trenches. Is that a culture you're trying to facilitate inside your company?
I think absolutely, first and foremost, but it's a culture that I think there's a lot of us that are trying to create in our industry. Sometimes you'll meet, I remember my first year, we had gotten into escrow and someone said, now we're going to war. I was said, what are you talking about? I just want to close this house. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And I'll never forget that statement, but unfortunately some people feel that way. But I think that's a culture of celebrating each other and being excited for each other, especially in times like the market has not been easy. And
not lately, that's for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And we need to celebrate each other. It's nice to even celebrate. Hey, you got your first closing. That's amazing. Just those little celebrations, we all need it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I as an old guy, it took me a while. I pride myself on negotiation and pride myself on leverage and it took me a long time to figure out how to mix those, celebrate the other person on the other side and the way the deal came together, and hey, we negotiated, but we're both happy, and those kinds of things. It took me a couple years when I first got into the business to realize that it wasn't a battle. It wasn't, we're in this to try to represent our folks, our clients, our prospects, but we're also in, to bring people together and to make good deals. Somebody's going to sell a house, we're going to buy it, and everybody's going to be happy. So, I mean, that's the hope anyway. So it took me a while. I hate to admit that, but I like your approach, celebrate those wins and represent your folks along the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a cultural thing too. We are small, and so a lot of us see each other a lot at the grocery stores. We know each other's families. We went to school together. So I think that kind of goes along with that culture in Hawaii is that we're going to see everyone. So let's not be mean,
Don't run over them. You're going to see them tomorrow at the grocery store, I guess, right? Well, I appreciate you coming on. You're such a fun guest. You're such an uplifting guest, and you've done some really interesting things, obviously, as of late that are very, I want to say interesting, but very appropriate in the time we live in. So thank you for that. Is there any advice, anything you want to go out on? Anything else you want to lay out there for agents around the country that are trying to get their feet? How's the time?
Oh my gosh, putting me on the spot. Yeah. I think no, I mean, I'm really excited. It is not only is it the holidays, and I love the holidays. I almost wore my Grinch earrings today, but I thought that maybe that wasn't appropriate. But I'm going to be a new year. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for all of the things that we can start with a clean slate. So if you've had a harder year this last year, it's okay, because a lot of people have had a hard year. Yeah. Some people have had an outstanding year, and that's fantastic. So celebrate that and move on with that momentum. But if we're starting a fresh year, have fun celebrating the holidays with your family and come into 2026 ready to rock and roll, because I think it's going to be a great year. There's going to be a lot of changes with AI, I think, a lot of opportunities to include it in your business so that you can save time and help your clients and be there for them. And I'm just really excited. And I'm excited to I follow you and your podcast, and a lot of your videos have been so uplifting and helpful as well. So I appreciate you including me on that lineup, but also for sharing some, like Lindsay, she's amazing. She does such great things for our company.
We've got great leaders.
Yeah. And like comedy, she's amazing. I love that about Coldwell, is that we have a lot of really great, fantastic women leaders.
Absolutely. That goes right up to the top. Right up to the top. You can't deny it.
Yeah, I appreciate you highlighting them. I appreciate you bringing so many amazing people to the forefront for others to learn from. And I'm just really excited for this next year.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So you heard it from her, from Oʻahu, Hawaii. Rock and roll. Enjoy 26. Don't live in 25. It's going to be a great year. I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing all your advice and your wisdom and your knowledge. Thanks for being on Guiding You Home. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Great. Tune in next week. We've got a great guest. She's from the country of Turkey and Cyprus, and she is full of energy. You're going to love her. Don't miss next week on Guiding You Home. Have a great holiday. Take care. Perfect. You're the best. Thank you.
You know what I just thought of? I should have worn one of my flowers in my ears.
Yeah. I mean, why are you not doing that? That's
I know. I was so excited about my dang candy canes.
Well, you're a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I didn't know you never know what kind of guests we're going to get, but everybody I've had has been amazing. So I appreciate you coming on and spending time chewing it up with us. But
my pleasure. What I'll do is, it sounds like you're already using a lot of the tools from my
Yeah, I'd love to see whatever you got, though. I mean, I'm
what I'll do
so
is
excited.
I'll send you and share it with anyone.
Okay.
I mean, I shared it at Gen Blue. I mean,
Yeah.
anyone can have it. So I'll send you the link to that custom GPT that I was
Awesome.
making.
Awesome.
And if you forget what you need to do,
Can I share it on the podcast?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
And then if you don't know what to do, it says press here to start or something like that, and
Okay.
it'll tell you what you need to do. And
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Easy. And then I'll also send you the link to my my video submission for the Gen Blue, so you can see the whole process.
I'm so disappointed I didn't see it. You were on my list, not meaning you personally, but the whole award thing. And I got on a phone call, and by the time I got off the phone call, it was over. And I was like, oh my goodness, the one thing I wanted to see, and I didn't get to see it. So I apologize. I didn't get to have the award, but I'm thankful I got to have you on.
We had some great people on there, and so I'm just very fortunate to have been a part of it. So
incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. Do you ever get to
they're doing there's 2 people that were on the finalists on Agents Helping Agents tomorrow morning.
Oh, is there? Okay. All right. Fantastic.
I'll send you the link if you didn't register.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Love to do that. Do you ever get to the East Coast? Do you do anything out here, or you just kind of stay West Coast Hawaii mostly? Get back to Chicago?
I don't go to Chicago that much because I don't have family out there anymore.
Okay.
But I try my best to travel as much as possible. So
I mean, why in the world why would you want to leave, right?
Well, I always say, like, traveling, I think traveling is the most important thing for anyone to ever do. But I just feel very fortunate because when I come home from traveling, especially in the winter, I'm coming home to like 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually went on my honeymoon there. I'll have to cut this out because I'm no longer married to her, but went on my honeymoon there. It was a disaster. Went to Maui and got to the car rental and realized I had forgotten my license.
Oh my gosh.
My new bride and I had to hitch a ride to the hotel. It was a disaster. It took 3 days for my dad to overnight my license, and it was just a mess. But I love Maui. It was an awesome place. So.
Maui's awesome. I'm going in January. I'm going to go to Davos, Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the World Economic Forum, and so I'm going to go to that, and I'm so excited for that.
That's interesting. Why did you choose to go to that?
Well, so the World Economic Forum is something that they have 6 pillars, and it's all the leaders that get together around the world, and they talk about different, those 6 pillars. Like AI in technology is one, so I follow a lot for that. Health is another one, healthcare. But they talk about how they can all work together in order to for the betterment of the world. And I just have loved it. And so I'm actually going, but it's going to be so cold. And, but I get to come home to Hawaii, so it's okay.
That's amazing. That's good. I mean, I would never guess anybody would say, I'm going to go on vacation to Davos to the World Economic. I was like, what? That's awesome. Good for you.
I'm such a nerd. That's my travel.
That's good stuff.
I love it. So, and hopefully I might be able to moderate a panel actually as part of it.
That's even better. Hey, I did have a question on the MIT thing, because I looked at that certificate. Did most of what you did, was it non-coding? I think they call it non-code pathways, or did you? I mean, it talks about the format that there was coding sessions and live sessions. What's that?
Which class were you looking at? Because I think they have a couple now.
Yeah. I looked up the artificial intelligence certification at MIT, and it spit out,
Also the business.
Yeah. I don't know. You can't see it, but anyway, I was just curious how it was, and how long it took, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think it was like 6 weeks long. It was intense. Like every week there was a presentation and a paper that was due.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I will say this, I enjoyed it because it did talk about business. My biggest takeaway was really being involved in the chats, because there's people from all over the world. So I got to see how people all over the world in multiple different industries were using AI. And I loved that. And then I got to say, hey, have you checked out this? Or did you try this?
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
that was really cool. The class itself, if I'm being completely honest, it really more went through the history of AI. They had some recent articles that they would include, or videos that they would include. But for the most part, it was like, here's AI. How do you implement it in your business? Which I think is fantastic. But if you're not necessarily interested in learning from like other people, I don't know how beneficial it would be for real estate in particular.
I was thinking more from I started out with an interest in AI and wondering what that would provide me, if it would give me a leg up. I'm in the process of getting my half a class away from my broker's license as well.
Awesome.
And every year I do something hard. That's kind of my goal. I do something hard every year. So get my broker's license this year was, turning a 2-year program into a 9-month program. So I'm almost done with that, but I'm looking for the next hard thing as an old guy. So that's kind of why I look down that street.
First of all, congratulations on your broker license. I think it's fantastic. I love that. I love anyone that invests into their career and into their business.
Thank you.
So congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
If that is what your goal is, then I do encourage you to take it.
Oh, you would? Okay.
And if you do take it, I would encourage you to be as active as possible in the chats. And so I would go in and I would ask specific questions. They have like conversations that you can, like thoughtful conversations that you have to submit answers to.
Sure.
So I would go in and I would read other people's answers, and then I would challenge people. Many people never responded.
Oh, really? How about that?
There's like thousands of people in the class. But many people didn't respond, which is fine. But I just challenged, because I like to challenge people, because I like to be challenged. But I would go on there and I would challenge people, like ask them questions like, oh, when you do this, like, what is the reason for using this tool instead of this tool? Or that's an interesting way of, analyzing. Like someone on there was like analyzing plankton and
oh, wow.
So I was like, interesting. So how do you keep track of that? And he had said that they keep track of it on like almost like an Excel spreadsheet. I was like, oh my God, you're using AI for all these things and you don't use it for that. Like,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's something. That's hilarious.
It is. But I learned a lot from the chat, and I learned a lot from like asking other people questions and asking them to elaborate. Sometimes people did it, but no big deal,
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm more intimidated by the idea of, stepping into a room with, 1,000 people that are smarter than I am and, doing something I don't know anything about. But I usually get over that pretty quickly because I enjoy hard things. But
that is the best room to be a part of.
I bet.
I always try to be the dumbest person in the room. It isn't that hard.
I have a doctor friend. He was one of my guests, actually. He's on my other podcast, Grind to Growth to Greatness. He's a wilderness doctor and an expedition doctor, and he went. He works at an emergency room, but he went to MIT to get his MBA, and so he got a master's degree in business at MIT. So he's a smart dude, and he'd fly up there every week until he got it, and then he was back at home. So he's an amazing guy. But so maybe I'll look into that as my hard thing. So a couple things.
Let me know if you do.
Yeah, no, I will. I totally will.
If there's anything that I can do to help support you while you're doing that, or any tips, are cool. Too easy. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're the best. Thanks. Enjoy that weather, and keep doing what you're doing. It's always nice to hear people that are not only successful but excited about being successful and helping others reach that. So good for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate you. Have
a
great
see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Guiding You Home. We hope our expert guests have provided valuable insights for your real estate journey. Remember, every home has a story, and we're here to help you write yours. Until next time, happy home hunting.